Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I'm here today with our sign-specific weekly astrological reading. This is for the week of September 3rd through September 9th, and this reading is for Gemini. Okay, so really quickly, I wanted to go over a couple things of importance that are happening astrologically this week. At least the two things I'm going to be focusing on for this reading. First one is that Venus, who's been retrograding in Leo, goes direct, stations direct on Sunday, so right at the beginning of the week. And all of your reviews that you've been doing about how love and beauty and pleasure relate, how you relate those, how you communicate love, beauty, and pleasure, that review process is coming to an end. And so you're going to be able to now use all of that to move forward, to communicate out. And the second thing, and equally important and so beautiful, is that we have a Mercury Cazimi in Virgo on Wednesday. So your review that you've been going through with Mercury since it stationed retrograde, all that you've been dealing with Mercury retrograde, how you've been utilizing that to make yourself better, to especially how you've been using that, or what you've been going through with your review of your roots and your foundational self, your home maybe even. The sun's about to shine a big spotlight on that, but it's also about to imbue it with warmth and light and clarity. So this day of the Cazimi is a really beautiful time for you to look around your house, look around your foundations, analyze them. Today's the best day to do that, or Wednesday will be the best day to do that. The day of the Cazimi. Really embrace that, because I think you'll find some really special, comforting things about your strongest points that will really help you as we continue through Mercury's retrograde. But to get some clarity this week, and maybe some guidance, I've chosen a variation of the Major Arcana reading for the Sun in honor of the Cazimi. So we're going to be dealing with and finding out about your inner light, outward radiance, so how you shine outward, and then what may be clouding those things. So let's get started. And as I begin my shuffle, I want to go over the intention that I've chosen for you for this reading. And that intention is illuminating foundations. I chose illuminating foundations because I have a feeling this Mercury retrograde period has been affecting your root systems. And this Cazimi is a great time to shine a light to illuminate that exact area. So let's do that. Let's let the tarot guide us there and illuminate this part of our life. So the first card that I draw is in the inner light position. So this inner light may be at that root center for you. And the inner light is the 10 of Wands. Okay, let's move on. Outer radiance. So how you're shining out this week in particular. The 10 of Swords. Okay, 2 10s. Finally, what is clouding you this week? What's keeping the sun from shining as brightly on you and your review process as it can? The Chariot. Okay. From what I can see here, I think that directionality is the name of the game for you this week. Obviously, with the Chariot in any reading, we're going to be at least pondering, and I think this week in particular, shining a light on what direction you're going. Potentially what direction this Mercury retrograde's taking you in. I think that's going to be key. Because this is the Cazimi point of that retrograde period, I think figuring out directionality right now for you is going to be really important. But let's start at the beginning. Your inner light is the 10 of Wands. It's showing me that you have been dealing with whatever burdens this retrograde has been giving you, whatever Mercury has been up to in your life, you've been handling it with finesse, with agility. You have been really able to balance all of those burdens placed on you during this period. And I think the sun is showing you this week that you deserve credit for that. And being able to keep that up, I'm sure has been really challenging, but it's in the inner light position. So it's a strength for you. So own that. If you feel overwhelmed, be like, no, I can handle this. Especially, it's a great time on Wednesday to really embrace that Kazemi. Really, I think that that's really going to be key. Because in your outer radiance position, it's the 10 of swords. So with 2 10s, there really is this idea that these are very solid attributes, but that they're really useful at this period. I think because this is a reading about the sun, it's about the Kazemi. I think that it's important. This is also a reading about your foundations, about your home. And I think here, while you're great at handling those boundaries, the way you're kind of shining outwardly is that those burdens, while you're doing great at holding them, they might be causing some self-inflicted wounds. And I think you may be showing that on the outside. Maybe in your social groups, maybe outside of you, you're kind of bringing this woe is me sensibility to those conversations. When this whole process, especially Mercury retrograde, needs to be focused on your roots, not other people. Where you feel safe and comfortable, where you call home. This Mercury retrograde is probably impacting that part of your life. And if you aren't really feeling that, that's great, but then it's definitely a time and it's definitely you're being called to review that. So you're doing great handling those burdens inside, but on the outside, you're projecting this kind of self-pity vibe. Your groups may be cool with that. You may feel really comfortable doing that with your groups, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. However, when I said that this spread was showing me that directionality is going to be important for you, the Chariot is in the clouds position. So my thinking is, if you can find your directionality, that's what's going to clear the clouds. If you can decide to reorient this burden sharing onto or back to the inner, back to your home, back to your foundations, as opposed to spreading that kind of philosophy outward, I think it's really, really important this week that you choose to redirect what Mercury retrograde's been teaching you inward, back to your roots. This really isn't calling for directionality outward. It's saying, in fact, that if you really are solely focused outward, you may be kind of in a complaining mode. And that's okay. It's Mercury retrograde. We all want to complain. If we have social groups who we can complain to, do it. Just remember, and this is what the Kazemi is all about, if you can clear the clouds, choose directionality, and then not have that be one of the burdens, then you won't be spreading that negativity. You'll be just focused on where those burdens are coming from in the home life, in your foundations, and letting all of that go. So, to sum it up, choose a direction. That'll clear the clouds. The direction should be inside and not out, because you might be spreading some negativity. Because inside, you are super capable. You're capable of balancing all these things. And let's be honest, this is only going to go through as long as Mercury's retrograde. So as soon as Mercury stations direct, you will be able to feel comfortable in your roots, in your home, and then you can finally use all that you learned from Venus and communicate. Get back to those groups. And you can still be with the groups, just don't have the woe is me vibe as much. I trust you. You got this. You'll keep it light. I'll see you next week.